Hello and welcome, RCSchim in the hangar. Today I show you the SG325, a GPS drone that's also kind of a freestyle drone. It's a bit of a mix between a Mavic-like thingy and a freestyle 5-incher. So this thing uses Mavic props, these folding props that you can take off quite quickly, which makes it easier to store somewhere. So this is Mavic props, Mavic motors, 390 gram without battery. So it's very lightweight. You can use 3 or 4 cell batteries. It has this nifty, nice little VTX antenna. It comes with a good Runcam in it, but it's not too expensive. And it has a GPS included. And I thought it was a Betaflight thing, but it's an iNav. iNav is from the CleanFlight pass, so it's a relative to CleanFlight, but with heavy GPS integration stuff. So you can have return to home, and I don't have any experience with GPS on Betaflight, but I saw a few videos like Currykitten, for example. Go check out his videos. The users aren't too fond of the return to home functionalities on Betaflight. It's more a safety feature than a feature to rely on. And iNav seems like it's more focused on GPS stuff. So it may not be the best freestyle drone when it flies with iNav, but it has more GPS stuff on it. Configuration was quite similar than a Betaflight thingy. And I only had some issues with the compass. The compass was oriented wrong in the setup. So it should be 270 degrees and flipped. Make sure. I will double check this. And you also have to calibrate the compass, where you move it facing down, backside, left, right, top and bottom. Do this calibration and verify if the calibration works. Make sure that you know where north is when you test this. Then just look on the OSD and see if the OSD points to your real north. Turn it 90 degrees and check the directions if this is correct. It's important. If this is not correct, and it wasn't for me, then the position hold feature GPS won't work. It didn't work, and I found a very nice video from Pawel Spychalski, a guy that works with the developers. A great video, check it out if you have any issues. It solved my issues in like no time. I like it when they come pre-built. And I thought they intended it for something like a Runcam or GoPro session, because this thing you can mount quite well here. One of the main reasons why I chose this drone, besides the GPS functionality, were the 8.3-inch Mavic props that are used here. Folding props, which is a nice thing. Of course, I mean, I saw someone flying acro with this as well, but it will not be 100% of a freestyle drone, of course, with those props. Then I took off this nice TPU 3D printed canopy. Holds the receiver in there and as well a full-size FPV cam. I'm not so keen about this receiver type, to be honest with you. Would rather have a crossfire in there, of course. Excited for the first test flights. We have nice weather for a few seconds that I have to take advantage of. Wish me luck. This screen, I didn't use it a lot, but it's really bright. OSD is nice. I spent some time on configuring the OSD. I see that I have 11 SATs and good accuracy here. It says no RC link because my limiter switch. I should be good to go. Oh man, I'm excited. Didn't set up the craft name though. and also don't have any RSSI there. But we will see. I hope I can get you a close up shot of me hovering here. Spinning. And it's set up very softly, so I need full stick inputs to move around in angle mode. That's fine for first test flying, I guess. The altitude is very touchy though. Now that's a nice and successful little test flight. It's a bit touchy though, so the position hold doesn't work, it wanders away for me. So it needs to be set up better. Disarmed by switch, that's a good sign. Max distance 30 meter. Traveled distance, I love the statistics here. And I'm also not sure if I should fly in acro mode. I kind of fear it freaks out. Maybe I can start in acro mode. Yes, I will try this. Wish me the best of luck. Ah, that's what I'm used to. Flies better in acro, of course. I love the noise level there, how silent it flies. Only fighting the wind a bit and the altitude, so the throttle curve should be less sensitive. Whereas the position, the rudder and the pitch should be more sensitive. You really need a lot of weight in stable mode. Oh, it's a bit too close maybe. Let's call this a successful first test flight. Okay, same day, and apparently just the magnetometer, the compass should be calibrated correctly, which it wasn't. So now that it's corrected, I hope that the position hold works. Yes, it's quite nice. I should come down a bit. It's really stable. I like it. Changes in altitude are very minimal and position hold not. That's totally programmable. I like how stable it is. Really nice. Looks like it has a bit of drift though. Ah! That's close. Okay, so it was a really nice flight until the end, where it suddenly banked all the way to the left. On the OSD I saw that GPS was lost for a second, so it wanted to fly away or alter its position. So GPS issue. That's an 1800 milliamp 4-cell, and I hovered for 6:33. It was mainly hovering, so not a lot of work for the drone. Like 50 minutes flight time. Sounds good. And plenty of power on 4-cell, of course. Okay. Taking out the bag and try this nifty GPS copter out a bit more, and also show you the iFlight backpack that I also got from Banggood. And I chose this because it is so small. I can show you a comparison of the larger multi-star backpack that I bought from Hobby King a few years ago. It's nice, it can hold everything that I own, but it's quite heavy. While this thing is small, it has it is especially designed for multicopters with this design of a carbon part and a back plate and some rubber and some Velcro. The original Velcro was a bit too short, so I used the Runcam one here. And it has a top compartment here. It is configurable, so you have those walls here, but the walls which just Velcro to the side here. The soft side part only goes like this far, so you cannot touch it up here anywhere. And also one downside of a smaller backpack is you cannot have your radio upside on the side, so you need a lot of space for the radio alone. But I am able to fit in my DJI goggles here as well, some extra, and a few batteries down there. It's nice, but yeah, those things, they move a bit, and I'm not too sure. I mean, the nice thing is about this one here is that it's small and doesn't add a lot of weight to the things you already carry around with you. So I will use this thing if I, for example, have to hike up a good amount of time to some flight places. On occasions like today, I would rather use the big backpack where I also would have my tripod in it and just have everything with me and just have to like carry it 50 meters. Then the big backpack is way better than this. But for hiking, this is really nice, and it has enough space for normal copter flying. 5 minutes later, the copter is ready to take off. I had to DIY a tripod because I have none with me. And I don't have the DJI Goggles analog mod yet, so I need an external receiver. Not the worst receiver used here, it's the Clearview 2 with a good directional and an Omni. Let's see if I can check this out. This is the fine analog image that we get on the goggles. I kinda miss the current sensor, so you don't see the amp it draws, and you also don't see how many amps you have taken out of the battery. So the status of the battery can only be guessed by the voltage, which is fine for me. Most of my copters, I just take a look at the voltage of the battery and I know how good it is. Of course, you want to have the number of satellites below HDOP. With the bars just should be the wind speed, but it doesn't work, so I will remove it. Angle is for angle mode. Horizontal bars are nice, very good for crash recovery. Of course, are the GPS values on the bottom. The flight timer is nice, and on the right side we have speed, altitude, and distance to home. And of course, in the middle top section we have the compass, which, as I told you, really should point to the real north. Take a very close look at this. What just happened? Yeah, okay, it went to black screen now. The image froze on me, which I don't like at all. Luckily, I wasn't far away, and it kind of crashed upside down, but not with damage, I hope. But what was happening? Was it the copter or the goggles? I think it was the goggles.
Return to home worked nice though. So let's check this. It was definitely not the copter but the goggles, because I rebooted the goggles. It's on the ground. So not nice of those goggles. I for one would not feel safe with analog goggles that freeze up on me. So for my analog endeavors I probably will stick with the Dominators. So this copter, flying characteristics are not bad. Of course I have to tweak it a bit more. So the GPS return to home worked. It is scary as shit to activate it, because you never know if it works or not, but now I know it works. But it only flies like 10 kilometers per hour of speed, but you can adjust this. And also in my situation here, the ascension to 100 meters and fly back then wasn't necessary, but it's a good safety measure. So once it reached my home point, it just hovered there. I think you can set this up as well. Yeah, and it was a bit windy, or not the best conditions to fly. Just cruising around with these nice large propellers felt nice. So
I like it how fluid the OSD is updated. So you see the speed. First I thought the artificial horizon is a bit off, but I think it's right. It's a bit distracting in air mode though, so I'm not sure, maybe I will turn it off. But as I said, it feels like a larger quad, but it also feels very lightweight, very feather-like, if that makes any sense. So I enjoyed that part of the flight quite well.
And on my first flight I had some weird GPS hold motor shut-offs in midair. I mean, it caught itself then again, but it was very terrifying for me. Definitely a platform to be tested more. I cannot recommend you this 100%. A Mavic is still way easier to fly. So if you search something easy to fly, something 100% reliable, get a Mavic for way more than this. Maybe get the little Mavic for 400 to 500. But if you want to have different cameras, different video access and cool long range capabilities and want to experiment with new stuff, this thing is cool. And also being able to set up the iNav as to your liking is something nice as well. About my flight times, you see on the lower timer here I have 9 minutes of flight time. This time with wind, so it had to fight the wind, with ascending to 100 meter, with flying around dynamically a bit in the angle mode. I have 1/3 of the battery left, so a good 10 minutes of flying time with an 1800 4S 4-cell is a decent flying time. About them goggles, I would really rather use them as my digital only goggles. For example, this distance here from the connector to the plastic is too little. So if you plug in this analog cable, it is never 100% in, and the slightest of movement will make you lose the signal. So you have to press it in or cut some plastic from the connector. And also the barrel plug is a bit too loose for my taste. So these are the things here. And then of course the mid-air freeze, which I had no idea. Maybe it was my storage card. What's it? I have a Toshiba storage card. It's not a cheapo storage card. It's a Toshiba Xperia 64 gig. In the meantime I will stick to digital with this and use the Dominator, the Fat Sharks, for analog stuff. I totally recorded the thanks for watching and all this stuff yesterday in the studio, in my nice new halfway through new studio, but somehow my GH5 froze up, so let's make this the ending of this SG325 video. I still have to find a better name for this drone if I want to keep flying it. Today, to be honest, this flight, while the sun was really nice, it wasn't too confidence building, but I'm sure as I fly more often with it, this can be a cool drone. So I like how lightweight and how easy it handles and how easy it cruises around. It might still need some more tweaking in INAV, and it's a good opportunity for me to learn INAV a bit closer and maybe even use it on planes in the future. As always, thanks a lot for watching all the way through here. If you are curious about my next endeavors, for my next adventures, please consider subscribing if you aren't already a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, thanks a lot for commenting. I especially love talking to you guys in the comments about this stuff or whatever. Do you want to see a live video, a live stream video, maybe in the near future? Let me know which topics do you want to discuss. What shall I do? I would like to have some live chatting with you guys. So thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. For now.